Ramirez, your host of Stand Out and Grow. I want to help your business stand out, survive, succeed, and grow. Building your business is really, really hard. And knowing what marketing and advertising tools you need to help you become successful is extremely confusing. After 30 years of working with thousands of businesses, I am here to help you make good business decisions. I want to help you understand the programs that are available to you so that you can stand out, survive, succeed, and grow. So let's get started.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Kat Ramirez. I am a entrepreneur, sales coach, trainer, mentor, LinkedIn influencer. I can podcaster, speaker, trainer. I can go on and on and on. So my background, just so that you guys know, my background is major media. I was at ABC, NBC, CBS, Telemundo, and I was a hiring sales manager, so a sales director for over 28 years. And I guess the thing I saw over and over and over were just basic things of people not being able to sell or close. And so I wanted to start this sales series so that I can share with you things that I have picked up and that will possibly help you close more deals or make more sales. So you guys can use the chat, or you can, unmic. And I would like to hear your background and what it is that you're doing and what you want to achieve. So if anybody wants to share with me, and don't be shy, because this is what sales is all about.
Hi, I guess I'll
go ahead, Ashanti.
Yep.
Oh, hello. My name is Ashanti Wilkins. And I'm just starting out in sales, and I realized I need to pick up a lot more training on it. So this is actually my first sales training experience, but my background is in medical. I'm an emergency room nurse, so I have no experience in sales, but I do need the experience to further my career, what I want to do in medical.
Okay. And is this for yourself or the corporate job you have now, or is this your business? What is it? What are you trying to gain this for?
This will be for self, but just to further my business. I will be selling, it's like an e-commerce. I'm selling scrubs online. Okay. So like an online business.
Okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. Go ahead, Edward.
Thank you, Catherine. I've been in sales for most of my life, but I'm always curious to know what new things are out there and how to improve and how to get better, because you can think you know it all, but there's always ways to get better. And I'm always improving myself and trying to figure out how to become more knowledgeable, from people skills to selling knowledge. Just started my own company.
Okay.
I was in the media business just like you for about 35 years. I got packaged out, and now I'm just taking all the knowledge that I've been experiencing in my world and eventually, getting into my own entrepreneurial coaching, kind of I guess you could say, consulting services.
Okay.
So I'm kind of fairly new in terms of, what people like yourself are doing. And I just want to expand my knowledge base and get better.
Okay. And then what is your new entrepreneur company? And congratulations. Yeah.
My company's called Huckleck Sales Training and Coaching. I'm just in the midst of launching my website, how to have power and confidence dealing with people. The other one is basically, I just graduated from the Tony Robbins School of Selling and Coaching. So I'm taking all this knowledge. It's not any good unless you apply it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So a lot of the things I'll walk you through, Edward, you'll probably know, because again, this is really basic sales, for people really trying to dip into it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. Okay. Fidel, do you want to share with you?
Hey, everyone. So my name is Fidel. I work for a sports company. We produce events all over around the world, and mostly in the US and Canada. I'm based in Toronto, Canada. So I recently switched my role within that company from a marketing design to a sales position. So, I was just trying to get a hold of more knowledge around sales, and the company really depends on digital ads on Facebook advertising. So I was just trying to get more ideas on where can we like reach out to a broader network or a broader audience without depending so much on digital ads?
Okay, awesome. Okay, great. Okay, like I said, I'm going to share my screen. I really want this to be a dialogue and not a monologue. So please feel free to interject and stop me whenever. You guys can see my screen okay? Everybody? Yay?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have 4 different businesses that I've started and have successfully run, 2 marketing companies, a business broker, and then my passion project is Golfing Buddy. So Stand Out and Grow is my podcast. If you are looking for more information, check it out. It's an audio podcast as well as a YouTube. Okay. Okay. So basically, again, my background is major media. So sales director, hiring sales manager. So really know the ins and outs of really coaching and training rookie salespeople. And I tell you what, it's one of my favorite things to do. I really do miss it because I like watching people grow. And I always tell people that if you ever get a first-time job, a sales job is one of the best jobs to get for anyone because you learn a lot of general people skills. And that's what sales is all about. The first thing you want to know, and I don't care if you are doing online sales or direct sales, the first thing you want to do and keep in mind is you need a sales process. You need a system in place. You need to know, how is my customer coming through the funnel? So everybody has some sort of funnel. So that's a sales process, a sales cycle. Everybody can interpret it differently. For those of you that are here, do you know what your sales process is? Anybody want to share? Like walk me through onboarding a new client or somebody coming through your system? Anybody?
You talking about somebody going into sales or somebody's already into sales?
Nope, your clients. This is toward your clients.
Oh, your clients.
Yes. So what's the process? What is the process for them? So once again, this is so important to understand and know. And I'm going to walk you through, I have one, but I want to make sure that we're all on the same page because in order for sales to work, in order for you to get a trigger point, right? To get a conversion, there's got to be a process in place. Okay. And again, lots of people call this lots of different names, funnels, process, cycle, system. At the end of the day, it's the flow. What is the flow? When you are reaching out, prospecting, and then once they engage, and then once you are converting them, and then what happens afterwards to fulfill the order or, whatever it is that you're selling. Okay. So just keep this in mind because this is so important. And it's really great for everybody to know what is your sales process. Okay. The other thing you need to know is what is your sales strategy? What is the strategy that you're going to have in place? There are lots of different types of sales strategies. Okay. And when I talk about sales strategies, okay, so I talk about like old school cold calling, right? That's a sales strategy. Okay. Because we are of a digital era, there's a lot of new sales strategy. Social media is a sales strategy. Ads is a sales strategy, email marketing, workshops. There's so many different sales strategies that you can use to facilitate sales. Does anyone want to share what their sales strategy is currently?
I wanted to clarify. So I sell clothes on Amazon.
Yep.
So where Amazon, will that be like my sales strategy?
Yep.
Is that just my platform?
Yes, that is a sales strategy because you don't own Amazon, right? You don't own Amazon. So you're using that as a facilitator. So that you just hit it. You nailed it. So you got exactly what I'm talking about. So anybody else want to share theirs? No?
I think it's having relationships.
Yes, that is a sales strategy. Yes. So building relationships. Networking is a sales strategy. So there's so many different sales strategies out there. You have to align with and pick and choose the ones that are going to make the most sense for an ROI, return on your investment and return on your time So an ROI for you. Okay. So make sure that you're aware that there are a lot of strategies out there. Just because one doesn't work doesn't mean all of them are not going to work. Okay. So when you're maneuvering and creating a sales process, a sales strategy, just know you've got to be fluid. You have to be fluid and you have to test things, just like with ads. You know, when people do ads, they test them and they try different things to see what's going to trigger. Okay. So keep that in mind when you think about your sales strategy. Okay. And as long as it aligns with your business and it makes sense for you and you're comfortable and you're authentic, then it's going to be a good strategy. Okay. So here is a sample sales cycle. Okay. First off, who is your target? You got to know your target, right? So the biggest mistake I see all the time, the biggest mistake is when people aren't closing sales or they're saying that their product is not good or that they can't find buyers and whatever. It's because they have the wrong target. If you understand and know who your target audience, you are going to slim the factors of any failure rate there. Okay. So the more that you can pinpoint who your target is, the better the outcome. Okay. I'm going to repeat myself again. The more that you can pinpoint your target, the better the outcome. Now, you can have more than one target, because I will tell you that I have multiple targets because I have multiple businesses, but even in one business, I have multiple targets. So you can have multiple targets. Does anybody want to share their target audience? Anybody? Now, this is an opportunity to get my feedback and my help. And I'll tell you, I charge $250 an hour. So take advantage of it.
I guess so. My target would be anybody looking to purchase clothes or any attire within the medical field. So it can be LPNs, nurses, nursing aides, home health aides. That's what I figured my target would be. Just anybody looking for attire. Okay.
And is it male or female?
Both male and female.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So you've nailed it. That is perfect. Yes. Let me just describe a couple things you pointed out that I just want to highlight because that is really, really good. So you've identified the marketplace, you identified the gender, you identified some types of titles and organizations that they would be a part of. Okay. So again, the more that you can drill down, the better for you and try in converting this. Okay. So that is awesome. And that's great. And so hopefully when you're toning or dialogue, whatever you're using to promote to this audience speaks to that audience. Okay. So it is very medical-ish, right? Because that is your audience. Okay. Anybody else want to share theirs?
Yeah, I've been, my targeting is basic men and women in the early 20s and 30s who just graduating, want to get into the workforce, but lack the confidence and want to overcome their fear to be able to get their first job.
Okay. So how are you coaching and guiding them? Are you coaching and guiding them on interviewing, on what walk me through what it is?
Well, I think right now I'm just kind of starting out. So I'm just kind of weaving my way through trial and error. But I think it's finding people who want to get employed, but just lack, I guess, a game plan how to get a job.
Okay.
So they find out what they want and then going through the interview process and what to look for, what kind of questions to ask, what kind of questions to have answers for from the interviewer. So just preparing them for the workforce.
So Edward, let me kind of like brainstorm with you, okay? Because this is your first entrepreneurial role. And the thing I want you to think about is you obviously have a price point, right? For your program.
Right now, yeah, I don't have a definitive price point, but I've got some guidelines in terms of what it should be. Yes.
Okay. So can you give me a range?
Probably working on developing a course. Yep. And probably the course would, again, they range from hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars. So since it's my first crack into the, what I'm looking at is posting it would be probably $300 to maybe $1,000.
Okay. So
program.
Something to think about, because if you're targeting people that are looking to get a job, you might encounter people that won't be able to afford you. Okay. So you might want to think about targeting people who want to get promoted. Okay. Same philosophy, same premise, but different audience, because then that person is more likely to have money and they're more likely to invest in themselves. Just some food for thought. Okay. Food for thought. I'm not trying to change your target, just trying to give you some food for thought, because you do want it to be successful. I'm going to share with you, I've shared with you this because I don't want you to fail. And I do want you to think about some things that I would just think about, in regards to that. Okay.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Absolutely. So then that would, again, define your target, that would change it a bit. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So when you think about the audience, when you think about who you're trying to target, know that you also need to keep in mind what the strategy will be for that target audience. And as Ashita alluded to, her target was people with the medical field, medical related things. And Ashita, you're going to love what I have toward the end. Okay. And then you're also thinking about what is the strategy for that. And she's using Amazon. There's other strategies. There's lots of other strategies that she could use. And then the how are you going to engage these prospects, right? So you have these people that you want to target, and how are you going to engage them? What are you going to do to start engaging these prospects? And then what are you going to do to follow up? So again, this is a very simple, basic sales cycle, but I did want to share it with you because this is something that you should lay out and understand, because if you ever hire someone to help take you over, at least you have a foundation, or you create some SOP, standard operating procedures for your sales process, okay? Because that's what you want. You want SOPs in place, sales operating procedures, so that there is a process in place and it streamlines it. Oops, went the wrong way. Oops. Okay. Okay. So the other thing that you want to define and understand is, what are your expectations? You got to hold yourself accountable. So what are the expectations of when you put into place a sales strategy? So do you know what your expectations are? Do you know what you want to happen for your sales strategy? And right now, I'm going to pick on you, Ashita, because it seems like you're probably more mature in this than all the others. What is your expectation when you're using Amazon, or any other strategy? What is your expectation?
Well, the beginning of it was just to drive a lot of traffic. I know they had a lot of traffic coming through Amazon. Yep. So a lot of people just to see my product.
Okay, awesome. And then do you have defined goals in place?
I mean, there might be just to, low risk. I don't really want any money, make more money.
Okay. Because when you say more traffic, the way to hold yourself accountable, or anybody else who you're working with, is how much more traffic? Is it, 5,000 people? Is it 1,000? Look at your analytics and understand, because that way you hold people accountable. That's managing the expectations, right? Managing it so that it is doable and you don't set yourself up for failure. Does that make sense for everybody?
I know that I kind of you look at my competitor on Amazon, and I kind of just know that I need to at least get where they're at or above where they're at. So I kind of use that as my driving point. Okay.
But keeping in mind that they may have been out there longer, right? Longer?
Yes.
Okay. Because like I said, I don't want you to bum yourself out, or I don't want you to feel like you're a failure, Okay. So some sales facts. This is if you're doing direct sales. Okay. People give up after the first call. So if, and this is whether this is inbound, inbound marketing or outbound. So people giving up after the first call, meaning you called a couple people, or you had a meeting with them or whatever, or maybe not even a meeting, and say, hey, I do this. Let's set up a time to chat or meet. It takes the 8 to 10 touch points is for anybody. It takes 8 to 10 touch points for someone to do something. So it's repetitive being in front of them over and over in order for them to actually react. And this is why, if you're doing any digital marketing, why retargeting is great, because you're just retargeting someone who happened to visit either social media page or your website. And you're just reminding them again, hey, I'm still out here. Don't forget. Hey, I'm here. So just keep that in mind when you think about your strategies.
Sorry.
No worries, Edward. No worries. Okay. The other thing you want to do is you want to come up with a plan. The number one thing on your plan, and I don't care if this is for an e-com or direct sales or whatever, you got to be consistent. You have to be consistent in whatever it is that you do. Consistency is king. In fact, I have seen some people not spend a dime on any advertising or marketing, and they were consistent with the things that they were doing, that they grew their business purely by just being consistent. Okay. And again, we'll talk about some more strategies toward the end, because you can be consistent in several different ways to get the outcomes that you want. Okay. So keep in mind that of everything in this slide of having a plan, consistency is the number one thing you want to have in place. I talk about measuring because the only way to hold yourself accountable is to be able to measure. So did you define some goals? Did you set the goals? Where did you come in with those goals? And this is goals can be set up weekly, monthly, quarterly. In fact, I wouldn't even go beyond monthly. I would stick with monthly for sure, at the very least. But with your plan, defining who the target is, what strategy you're going to use, and then managing those expectations. Okay. So I showed the calendar because consistency, like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. I think the one thing, if I saw a lot of failure, if I had to talk to every business that I talked to that either had low sales or had closed their doors or whatever, is because they weren't consistent. They didn't do something in a consistent manner, and they waited to the last moment because they were in dire need to have their business take off or have sales take off, that they pumped into all kinds of garbage, and it doesn't work that way. Okay. So being consistent in the beginning and staying consistent throughout. So one of the opportunities that maybe you're utilizing or maybe you're not is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great place to virtually network. And if you look at the stats, nearly 80% of businesses do not use LinkedIn as a sales tool. So that is a huge opportunity for anybody, whether it's direct sales or anything else. Okay. It is a huge opportunity. And if you think of LinkedIn as a huge chamber event, I like to describe it in big picture. It's like a huge chamber event. Have all of you been to a chamber event? Anybody haven't been to a chamber event? It's like a network.
I never been.
Okay. So it's just a big networking event. It's usually community. Okay. But it's people from all backgrounds and sorts. Just like LinkedIn. We all come to LinkedIn. We're all business owners or represent some business, and we're there. And in LinkedIn, you have the ability to filter. So you can go into LinkedIn and then just search. And so let's say in my business, if I wanted to go after heating and air owners, so I would type in the search bar, heating and air owner, and then I probably see 75,000 business owners. That is now, I just narrowed down my LinkedIn into a chamber as low as I can. And then I start connecting to them. And then I start creating a strategy for that. Okay. So anybody here using LinkedIn as a sales tool? Anybody? No.
I use it. Yeah, I use it right now just for trying to create an audience, trying to create some traffic, but I've never gotten any sales from it.
Okay. You can get sales. I will tell you. I would say that because I am direct sell. So my audience is, of course, business owners. And I would say probably 80% of my sales is from LinkedIn. So why don't more people use it? You said nearly do not use. Why is that? I don't really care. I hope they don't use it. I hope I am the only one that always uses it. I'll answer that honestly for you, Edward. LinkedIn is seen as, or especially for older people, that when it first came out, it's seen as a job search vehicle. Okay, a recruiting and a job search vehicle. That's how it launched. It launched as a job search for employers to go in there and post their jobs, and then people come on and put their resumes which is their profile. And so some people can't get past that. And I will tell you what, it's one of the fastest way to get to a decision maker, is the fastest way to get to a decision maker. So it is a great opportunity. It's a huge opportunity. And if used properly, it will help grow your business. You just have to use it properly. Okay? So in LinkedIn, you have the opportunity to say happy anniversary, happy birthday, congratulations, inbox messages. So there's lots of opportunities to engage. And it's there for you. You just have to make sure you use it properly and don't abuse it. Okay? And then I use, reply messages in the inboxes. So like I said, it is a strong view and win. Another sales strategy is workshops. Okay. So I, for one, do workshops. I do 4 a month, 4 workshops. My highest attended workshop is social media training. I typically get 30 to 60 people signing up for that. So workshops are a huge win when you're trying to do some lead generation and you want to get as many people collectively as an audience. Now, when you do workshops, you cannot sell. If you're going to do workshops, you do it right, to not sell. And you should do your workshop so that there's takeaways, right? So there's solid takeaways for everybody. And so that's a great way to grow your audience, is by utilizing.
So these are all your businesses?
Well, I showed you all my business on the first page, but I do 4 different workshops. I do workshops on social media training. I do a workshop on LinkedIn, how to use LinkedIn to convert traffic. I do a workshop on what you need to know to sell your business, and then a workshop on sales, basic sales 101. Okay. So workshop, and when I started my business back in 2014, I did workshops from the get-go. So I was consistent. So again, consistency, and I did them every month. I started with 1 a month. I did them every month until I am here today, 9 years later. And I'm still doing workshops. I just accumulated and have grown to 4. And I tell you what, I have over 35,000 emails in my email marketing system because of work. So it's another great way to grow your email marketing campaign. Okay. So the other thing that for anybody who's doing any types of sales strategy or sales tactic is to understand, how are you going to conduct these? Are they going to be Zoom calls, face calls, or phone call face-to-face? And as Shanti said, hers is through her website. It's like a e-com site. So, understand and know how you're going to conduct these. I will tell you that post COVID, because of COVID, I now do more Zoom calls than I do face calls. I probably never do face calls anymore. Whereas before, I used to do a lot of networking and face-to-face, and now I don't do any. I'm pretty much on my phone or my Zoom, and I would say 95% of that is on Zoom and very little on my phone. So again, understand your marketplace, understand how you're going to facilitate this, because face-to-face is rarely done anymore, and most people see the efficiencies doing things digitally or virtually. And then follow up. Follow up is probably one of the biggest or the hardest things to do. And I can tell you without a doubt, I'm so tuned in to people and follow up. I bought a house last year, and then we, had quotes on like roofing, windows, all kinds of stuff. And I will tell you the number one thing that I'm really just surprised about was no follow up. No follow up from any of these companies where we called them and asked for a quote, and they just never followed up. Like probably just didn't want it, or I don't know, maybe they didn't know how to follow up. So Edward, that would be a great opportunity in the home improvement business, is learning some basic sales skills and follow up, because there was no follow-up.
So you're saying that they gave you a quote and then they didn't call you back to see what you thought.
Yep. Because remember, I said it takes 8 to 10 touch points for people. And sometimes we get busy, right? And sometimes things happen in our life. So follow up is key, because, you just don't know what that person that's happening, with them and what's happening to them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I just 8 to 10. That sounds like a lot to
it's an average.
Being irritant.
No. And oh my God, I'm so glad you said that. Thank you for saying that. Thank you so much for saying that. So here's the thing for anybody, pouncing on people or trying to follow up or anything of that. You're not You're not pestering people. If you just want an answer, that's it. If someone says no, hallelujah, right? Take the no and say, thank you for the no. Thank you. I appreciate it. And if you ever need my service later, keep me in mind. But I hunt for no's because you have to have so many no's to get a yes. If you're not hunting for no's, you're never going to get a yes. So you got to hunt for those no's and you got to get them, because if you don't ask for them, it could be a yes. You just never followed up enough. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So in your experience, what have you found the number of no's before you would get a yes?
Everybody's different. So, and then I experimented with this and with my sales team, because we would do cold calling sessions all the time. And I was emphatic about it because I was like, you can't get new business if you're not cold calling or you're not, finding new business. And for me, it was like, if it takes you 50 calls to make 2 appointments, then how many appointments do you need for the week, right? How many do you need for the week? Then make 100 calls or 200 calls. So I am all about the numbers and I'm about doing it in reverse. And over time, you'll understand and know how many emails do I have to send out in order to get someone to book an appointment with me. You can do the translation for everything, whether it's an email, whether it's messaging on LinkedIn, whether it's cold calling, whatever the case might be, you'll know how many over time to get a yes. Okay. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there is so much more that you can do. At the end of the day, business development is exactly what you said, Edward. It's about building relationships. People buy from people they like. So if they like and trust you, and trust is a big thing. This is why reviews, Ashante, reviews are key. If you can get a ton of reviews, you are going to win the game, dear. You're going to win the game. So people, especially because you have an e-commerce store, people are looking for affirmation. They're looking for trust. Okay. And what better way to gain trust than to have a bunch of reviews? And reviews is a shortcut to getting people to really like and trust. Okay. But again, at the end of the day, it is business development. It's about the relationship that you're building. Okay. And then it takes discipline. So whatever that strategy you have in place or whatever it is that you're trying to do, again, whether it's direct sales or e-commerce sales or whatever it is, whatever that strategy is, it takes discipline. And so if it's the old fashioned way and you cold call, it takes discipline. If it's a new digital way in your email marketing and you're using social media, LinkedIn and Facebook to drive sales, it takes discipline. You have to keep at it because it's not just going to come if you don't do anything. A lot of people make this assumption, oh, I built it, now they will come. Well, that doesn't really happen. That's not really the true indication of a business, right? And there's a lot of businesses out there that have grown their business by word of mouth, pure word of mouth. It's reputation. And one shortcut to word of mouth is reviews. I can't say that enough. Reviews is a great lifeline, great thing to have when someone searches you and they see all your. So then you can use that. Okay, this is just toward the end. So anybody, what questions do you guys have? What do you have for me?
The question I did have was for the cold calling. How can I equivalent that to like my e-commerce business as far as
LinkedIn?
Okay.
On LinkedIn, you can search those titles you gave to, right? You can search CNA, you can search nurse, you can search all of those titles, caregiver, okay? All of them. You can search. In fact, on Facebook, there should be groups there too. Should be groups from anybody in the medical field, right? And when you're searching those people and you're connecting with them, right? And then once they connect, you can, in a gracious way, say, hey, just thank you for the connection. Just wanted to share. I do sell, medical clothing. And if you would like to take a look at it, here's my link. And so no hard selling. It's very soft, just introduction,
Okay, yes, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yep.
I get it now.
Yep. Very soft and passive. But you start networking with all these people, just start connecting with them. It's only going to help you. Any other questions?
So, Catherine, you don't do any live presentations? It's all Zoom?
It is all Zoom. For all of my businesses, it's all Zoom. I haven't done I used to do speaking events. I used to do, the chamber would come and get me to do a workshop and all of I haven't done one in almost 4 years.
So is that because of COVID? Is that what precipitated that?
Yeah. I used to be out and about all the time, driving around. I would go to chambers in Illinois, go to chambers in north of me and south of me. So not anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. Plus, I think the big thing for people is efficiency. It's more than just having someone with them. They want to be efficient. They want to be efficient too. And they want their time, right? They want their time to do the things that they want to do, not be on a road or in a car. No.
So you give clients the choice, or you don't give them a choice? You say it's Zoom and that's it.
Most of my clients are all over the world. So that's the other thing.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yep. That's the other thing. Because of COVID, I now have clients that are all over the world. So I have clients in Australia and Singapore, in South Africa. I could go on and on and on. Most of them in the US, most of them in Canada and the US, but a lot in Europe for sure. And that's because of COVID. So I'm very thankful for the outcome of that, that. And it's funny because before I was doing a lot of networking events. And I would say previous to COVID, 80% of my business was in my backyard. And right now, if I had to look at it, 90% of my business is all over the world.
So these are all your websites?
These are two. That's the podcast. That's my LinkedIn lead gen program.
Okay.
I got more, but those are two. Those are the two that's most relevant, But yeah. And then, if I am happy to have a one-on-one. I do a free consult. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, that's my Calendly. Just reach out for the marketing one. And I do a free consult. I have no problem sitting one-on-one and sharing some thoughts and ideas and bouncing, things off of you. Like I said, at the end of the day, sales is a big deal. You can't expect to have a business and not have a strategy in place. As Fidel alluded to, they were doing more ads, and things like that. And so the thing you can control, right? That's what you can control. So if you're not getting business with ads that you can't control, the thing you can control is human engagement. Can control that. And so that's why I invest in a team that does business development. That's what we do. I can control that. I don't run ads. If I run ads, I run retargeting ads.
So what does Social Buzz 99 mean? What does that mean?
That's our social media marketing program. So we do social media for clients for $99 a month. So we post and create content and things like that. Yeah.
Kat, do you have any books or any reads that you would recommend for sales?
Yeah, I can. The World's Greatest Salesman is probably one of the best books ever. Okay. But I can also send you guys an email because I can send a recap. I can follow up and send you, Fidel, some books that I would recommend for sure, because at the end of the day, the opportunity is to understand and know your audience. Once you understand and know your audience, then you're going to have a better time converting. Any other questions?
Your LinkedIn workshop, what is that, an hour, 2 hours, all day?
No, the LinkedIn workshop is an hour and a half, and it's one session, and it's really good. I think the feedback I've gotten, if you look in YouTube and my reviews, you'll see I have a testimonial from one of my workshops where the feedback has always been, oh, wow, Kat, that's great information, more information than I thought I was going to get. So, yeah.
So that's all on your website? Information you need?
Nope. Again, when I email you guys, I can email you. I can, if you want to drop your email in the chat, I can email you the link to the next workshop from our Eventbrite for sure. And then you can look at those dates. Again, I do it once a month, every month. Any other questions for you, Ashante?
No, I think that is all. I'm dropping my email.
Okay, awesome. Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Kat.
No, thank you. And good luck to you. And I'm excited for you. I hope 2023 is an awesome year for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Edward, yeah, I will send it to you.
Okay.
And then, feel free to join any of the other workshops. Happy to share the training. And I'm thrilled and happy to death for you. And the best of luck to you too.
Yeah, it's more work than I thought, but I think what you said earlier, there's a consistency and continuity that's so important to get it off and running and launched.
Yeah.
So to achieve what you've done in 9 years, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So worldwide contacts, X number of emails, blah, blah, blah. So you've got a database. But again, I know it's taken time. It's taken, effort. And by you just saying what you did in terms of consistency required, I think was sort of the success train that a lot of people want it easily, but it's not. It takes sweat equity, and you've done well for yourself. So great for you.
Yeah, thank you. So if you ever want to bounce anything, feel free to reach out. I'll send you the information for the workshops, and then maybe I'll see you again.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Thanks, Catherine.
Have a great night.
Okay.
Bye.
You too.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Stand Out and Grow. Check out all the notes and links at www.standoutandgrow.com. I am so thankful to you for helping this show continue to grow. I want to keep producing content that you want to hear, so please leave me some feedback. I look forward to bringing you more resources and information to help your business stand out and grow. Please follow us on social media and make sure you follow this podcast so you can learn more about helping your business stand out, survive, succeed, and grow. Until next time, you got this. adBidtise helps businesses stand out and grow with affordable advertising options. We will help you make good business decisions so you can save money and not just throw it against the wall to see if it sticks. Get your free strategic advertising analysis today so you can see the opportunities to stand out and grow your business. Visit www.standoutandgrow.com offers page to learn more.